I'm meteorologist Johanna Wagstaff, hanging out in Vancouver's Crab Park. The Pacific Ocean behind me is where it all starts for the summer forecast right across the country. Warm Pacific waters, thanks to a record El Nino, have been pumping heat into the atmosphere for months now. And that's meant a warm spring for much of BC and Alberta, where the effects are felt first and strongest. That heat, though, has also kept the rain away. April was the hottest on record for Vancouver, but also the driest in 12 years. It's felt more like August for most of May. Great for beachgoers and fruit crops, but not great news for the forecast for the rest of the summer. Ironically, it's because of the snow. Snowpack is at a record low, and Vancouver has already implemented water restrictions 2 weeks earlier than last year when BC saw unprecedented drought conditions. And unfortunately, there's more heat to come in the forecast. The next 4 months will likely come in above seasonal for BC and Alberta, worsening drought and increasing the risk for wildfires. El Nino is weakening, but warmer than normal temperatures are sticking around over the northeast Pacific Ocean. And when it comes to the moderate to severe drought conditions in place for parts of the west, it's going to take a lot of rain to get us out. But June could change it all. It is typically a rainy month for BC and Alberta. Vancouverites have dubbed the month January, in fact, for the typically cool and showery days. That rain could do a world of wonders for the hot and dry summer months across the west. It's not often we hope for rain here in Vancouver, but this summer, all fingers are crossed.
I'm Ashley Brawweiler on Pilot's Monument in Yellowknife. Behind me are the houseboats in Yellowknife Bay, and for the past few years there'd still be ice floating on the bay this time of year. But this year, summer arrived early and most lakes are already open for business. That's thanks in part to the warm, dry spring we saw here, and as we move towards the warmest days of the year, there's only one other thing on people's minds in Yellowknife: forest fire season. 2 years ago, the NWT saw its worst season ever. Over 385 fires ravaged more than 3.5 million hectares of land and cost over $56 million to control. Most people are wondering what we can expect this year. The fires of 2014 were aggressive because of the hot, dry weather and the dry conditions across the territory. Now, we haven't seen much relief on that front. The snow didn't melt as much as it evaporated this year, and the soil didn't get a chance to soak up much of that moisture. The good news? We may see more rain than normal through June and July, and the temperatures won't be off the charts either. A normal year in Yellowknife see temperatures hovering around the 20-degree mark.
I'm John Sauter at the Forks in downtown Winnipeg. This is a gathering place all year long, but now that summer weather has arrived, people are really starting to show up to enjoy this sunny and warm day. In the prairies, we've had very dry conditions this spring in the west, especially in northern Alberta, and we've all seen the devastating effects that those dry conditions can have. In the eastern prairies, we've also had fires that have threatened cottage regions in eastern Manitoba. So rain right now is considered a really good thing. We've only had about 40% of our normal precipitation for the first 2 weeks of May, but now in the third week of May, we're starting to see some more moisture, and the heat is making a return as well. So the summer outlook calling for warmer than normal conditions across the southern prairies, but a normal amount of precipitation, and that could lead to a higher number of violent storms. Time will tell. So now that the heat and the moisture are starting to arrive, in southern Manitoba, we all know that mosquitoes are not far behind. And I'm not talking about the normal run-of-the-mill mosquitoes. I'm talking about what is considered a provincial bird. They can carry away a small car. They're that big. But they're not here yet. So for now, we can just enjoy this sunny and warm wet. Oh no.
I'm meteorologist Jay Scollin here on the shores of Lake Ontario in Toronto. And when it comes to summer weather in Ontario and Quebec, it's all about getting out to the cottage or spending some quality time out on the lake. Now, if you were hoping to get your dock in the water a little early this season, Mother Nature, well, she had other plans. After a winter season that was much warmer than normal, temperatures, well, cooled for the month of April as El Nino's influence waned, and we actually saw temperatures averaging out well below seasonal across this part of the country. Now, the month of May so far has really been like a roll of the dice. Yes, we've had some very warm days, but we've also had a lot of very chilly ones as well. Cold enough that in May we've had to deal with frost warnings in place, or frost advisories, as far south as the Greater Toronto area. We've also had to deal through southern Quebec and southern Ontario with mid-May flurries. If you can imagine, May 15th, flurries falling in Toronto. It wasn't enough snow to cause widespread panic, but let's just say folks here, we're not that happy about that. Now, looking ahead, temperatures for the summer season actually look to be warmer than normal. Now that sounds nice, and it is if you're just relaxing, taking it easy by the water, but excessive heat can have a negative impact on both your health and the environment with the increased risk for smog, as well as drought, even severe weather. I think I better head inside just to be safe.
I'm Ryan Snodden here in St. John's, Newfoundland. You know, our spring was a memorable one, but for the wrong reasons. Our 50-centimeter snowstorm April 20th, it was a record breaker and had the snowblowers, most of which had already been put away, on overdrive yet again. Now, despite the fact that our most recent snowfall was just 2 weeks ago, optimism is in the air here. It's been a pretty solid May 24th weekend, and the long-range forecast over the next couple of weeks looks pretty good as well. Beyond that, however, our summer season largely depends on the weather out there in the North Atlantic. And while the outlook for the months of June, July, and August does look warmer than normal, the wounds are still all too fresh from last summer. Now, onshore winds from the Atlantic held temperatures to the coldest on record last July. Our average daytime high was only 16 degrees. Rod Stewart was the concert of the summer. However, the only hot legs that night were the ones fitted with long johns. While August did recover nicely, the damage had been done. And so I think it's safe to say, despite the forecast, most are heading into this summer a little more cautiously optimistic than usual.
In the Maritimes, where the summers are fine. Hey, boy, the weather here in the Maritimes shaping up. Get up there. To be a beautiful, hot, hazy summer is the latest forecast for July and August. You know, a lot of us weather presenters here in CBC have been asked, because of our forecast, to go fly a kite. Well, look what I'm doing. I'm told. Go flying a kite here in beautiful Brackley Beach, Prince Edward Island. But the many beaches of the Maritimes could be flooded with people looking to get a taste of our nice, beautiful water because hot, hazy, humid conditions, the latest forecast for the summertime here in the Maritimes. So get out, folks, and enjoy. Maybe you want to fly a kite. We always have those nice sea breezes in the evening here. But after a winter of snowbanks of white, we have sand dunes of white for the summer. So whether you're out west, out towards Newfoundland, head for the Maritimes, maybe here in Brackley Beach, PEI. Save you a spot, take your kite. We'll see you here in July and August. It's going to be a great, hot, hazy summer on PEI. Oh, a spot just opened on the beach. See you later, guys. Let's go, Kate. Come on, Kate.